over this one here. Okay, boom. Okay, coming out from this motion. Okay, so we're going here. Now remember, the lockout is on the back leg only. The front leg. Right. There you go. Okay, so, and in the set we do it this way. Right. Okay. So the next one is flying diagonally. This is, we're going to work on turning, okay, and what we call splitting. So it's mostly happening in the body. And what we're going to do is, if you, I'll just do it this way. So we're here, you step in here, step out, okay? You're going to lean or shift forward, leading with your shoulder here. When you're here, you're then going to sweep this arm up. This one comes to the temple. This one goes down to the bottom foot. Then turn towards your other foot. Bring your hands right into the center. Right? Like this. So this hand is ready to block over here on this side. Then bring your other foot in. You step out to the other side. Shift forward, leading with the shoulder, and separate. Okay. So here, we're doing that.
Locking out like
yep,
this.
it's the same push, and you're getting that same hip extension here. But then what you're going to do is turn. So I go here, right, yep, and push down and look at your back leg. Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah. So what this does is, let's say here he steps in with a punch, come in here, I come like this, okay? Boom. Now, let's say this. Do that same thing again. I come here like this, right? Okay. It doesn't have to necessarily be up here. The important thing is when I'm here, and I don't even have to use this arm, remember, is I'm turning my body that way. Like that. So I have to push his upper body as I pull out his lower body. Okay? That technique's called Lieh to rend. You're taking one, it's like you're tearing something in half. So in this one, you do it here, like you're tearing something in half like that. Right, there you go. But, and then that comes, yep, there you go. And then just drop back into center.
What's next?
You're going to drop, so you turn towards this leg, and then this hand drops like this. There you go. And then you're looking this way. Looking towards me. You see? So basically, if I go here, you see? Because you're coming this way, so you're guarding your face. Right? You can do it. You see some people do Taiji and they do this, right? Yeah, that's the same thing as this. Since we're all concerned with self-defense and fighting, we're doing this, where we're practicing closing up, right? If he starts hitting on me, see, I keep these here, okay, right out in front. Right? And I keep him up. Right? So here, he comes in there, boom. Okay, other side, right? getting in like that. I mean, it's common to almost every martial art.
Yeah.
Right, the side step, boom.
Same thing, slightly different.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're going to end up, it's the same in Hapkido, it's the same in Taekwondo, it's the same in Karate. It's that push over to one side. If we do this slow, throw that punch. He always do this, then he throws the other punch. I go like this, he throws that one, boom, coming up over, boom. You see? Trap.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's the same thing. So here, you see how we're doing that? Okay. So when I'm here, I'm now my target's over there. Boom. And notice, it's in the body, right? In here. Right, there you go. Yep. So think about hitting with this part. Right.
Kind of like my shoulder, basically.
Right, but keep your shoulder down and think about hitting right here. Make this really hard. So make this muscle really hard. And okay, so feel here. Okay, soft. That's what I'm trying to do. Rather than thinking about hitting with the arm, I'm thinking about going and hitting with the back of my shoulder like that. The arm is going to add extra there. And then just let it come up to right here. Just make sure you keep the shoulder down. Okay. Yep. There you go. You do it slow and even at first. Here. You see? Get it down. So we've got our two major force-producing movements here. Right, good. Okay. And think of it, it's called sensujin, silk reeling energy. You're trying to make it smooth, like you're not trying to break a piece of silk that you're pulling off of a cocoon, right? There's another analogy for it. You're wringing silk. Like big, huge pieces of silk that are wet, right? And you're wringing them out, right? It's actually a good exercise to do this move on. Hold a wet towel here and twist it up and try to get it to dry out that way. Snap. Snapping up the towel. Yeah, because it's the same movement, and that's where it gets its name. Now, when we go backward, we change it a little bit. So we get up to here. The first thing we do is, when we're going backward, we shift over, we cover here, step in, step back, and then we call this jab the clouds.
Jab the clouds?
Jab the clouds. There, then we cover to the other side, step back. There. It's the same movement, but it's going to work a little differently. This is a very, very soft way of doing it.
Because you're coming back, so it's you're taking in the hard with this move.
Right,
so
exactly.
You're taking it with soft.
Right. Exactly.
Whereas the other move was you're coming out with hard.
Right. So you're probably focusing on you're going to do that one when they become weak, when an opening occurs. Boom. Right? Okay. You're going to do this when somebody's being aggressive to you. Okay? Somebody's coming in. If he rushes in, right? Boom. Okay? I can distance him. Okay? I turn him like this. Now he can't really punch. Okay? I pull him back, so now he's off balance. Okay? All of these things work, but they have to be relaxed. You have to just...
But then you got to follow it hard.
Right, exactly. Right. So here, you can do that as he comes in, boom, like that. Come in with with something like that here. You do have to come in with something. Right. But again, Lieh, split. It can also be lead. Okay? So I'm leading him here. If I keep my arm on this side of him, when I pull, he's going to go that way, even if I don't put any pressure. It's just the body's natural instinct to do that. Right? So if he's coming in, boom, and I go like this, just my coming straight in, do it a little slower. Straight in like this pushes him over this way. If I get this foot in there, you've got that lock, you got this lock, all that. Again though, you see how this works? We're moving like this, turning. Okay, so here, okay, forward and backward pop. Okay, horizontal pop. Okay, how do you get it to go in a circle? Combine them together, right? Okay, here you go. So this is where those seemingly mystical things are talking about. These movements, that the 8 movement, all boils down to 8 movement. This actually boils down to less than that, but they like 8. So these things, this is what it means. You're building on what you have before. One time after another, you get here. You see? In the form. Okay? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be from this. If he grabs me, right? In any way, boom. Pull him in. There's no force here. I pull him in. I might pull him into my forearm right here. Right? For self-defense, don't do this internally. You'll probably be disqualified. Okay? But seriously, if you pull somebody in here and get them right there, oh.
Yeah, that's much effective.
Yeah. But you add it with this step back.
Seems almost effortless when you step back. Pull somebody that's coming at you.
Right. Then all of a sudden they've got all that force, and then you just add to it that way. So there's a lot, whenever you see that back and forth, that's kind of what we're doing, getting somebody off balance. Yeah. Right, so you can do Taekwondo moves in the Taiji style, right? It doesn't really matter. I mean, all moves are the same.